those late game situations, slow it down and focus on the fundamentals. We've seen so many hard points go down to the wire where these teams are not making, consistent decision making when it comes to rotating to late hard points. So you might be up in kills, but at the end of the game, all that stuff goes out the window. You got to play good team Call of Duty. Can Faze do it?
It's kind of crazy, actually, how much they have been outslayed in the past 7 matches. We have seen like 2 of their players have hit a 1.0 KD, of course, but then Atlanta Faze had 4 players in the 7 matches hit a 1.0, which is kind of wild to see that kind of contrast there. But they've still managed to do it a couple of times, and it all comes down to this match. So we'll see where the gunfight takes us, guys. But it is time to do our predictions, brought to you by Sony's Xperia smartphone. And I'm going to start off with Teep. Teep, what are you taking for this one? This is a really important prediction, by the way. A very important one.
It's stressful. I feel like either way, you're going to be thinking about the other side. But I'm going to go, it's going the distance. I'm going with that one for sure. And I actually went with Faze down to the wire in a last map victory. And the reason I'm going with that is the stats leading towards their second or third game types in whatever mode, whether it be domination or S&D in particular. All the data points in their direction. I think hard points, we've seen Dallas recently look so damn good in the hard points. I think those are going to be a wash, basically a coin flip. But those other maps in those modes, I think are going to give them the very, very slight edge to win this one.
Okay, I like it. Nameless, where are you heading with this?
I'm leading over towards Dallas. I think they're going to take this one 5-4. I also have it going the distance, and the reason being is we're seeing a brand new Clay and also an improved Crim, right? Like, I think these guys are the difference when it comes to that data where they can prove it wrong, because that's new. We haven't seen that throughout the season, them be this consistent. I think they can get them through this series.
Okay, well, I really took my time deciding this one. I'm really, really struggling. Like you said, Team, you can make an argument for both sides here. I eventually went with 5-4 Dallas. Again, it's going to go the distance. These two teams know exactly how to face each other. And I think it's going to be a battle of the ages. But ultimately, I just felt like yesterday, from what I saw out of Atlanta Faze, despite the stats, the pressure looked like it got to them a little bit. And I think they were looking a little shaky. And then a champs version of Clay and Crim, that's terrifying. That's very, very scary. And I think that confidence is going to ooze into the rest of their team, and they might be actually taking this championship. So I'm really excited to hand this over right now. So of course, your 2 casters are going to be heading up this match. It is the one and only Maven and Merc. You've had them all season long. They're an absolutely incredible duo, and I'm really excited to hear them take this final. So gents, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Lottie. You guys killed it. Now, Joe, we are ready to go. It is time for the CDL Championship match. And man, this is interesting because you and I have been looking through kind of the stats for this and the maps and modes and where we're going. And I think we both kind of left thinking, this has got potential to be a banger, like a marathon, really go the distance. Can you kind of talk at a high level about why you think that can happen?
Well, I think you just look at their recent matchups. Obviously, yesterday went to a game 5. If you look at their matchup at Toronto, week 13, it was a 3-0, but it was like a 10-point hard point, round 11. Basically, these two have been performing and getting better, and they're starting to match up. And it comes down to a couple of plays game to game. And when that is happening, you have so much talent on both sides where I think we are going to go the distance. I think everybody thinks that. I think we're going to be really sad if it doesn't.
Yeah.
So that's why. I just think that these teams are at their peak right now, and that's what you want to see. The 2 best teams in the world.
Well, let's take a look now at our Game Fuel featured player. It is going to be Clayster, and my God, did he have some clutches and individual moments of brilliance yesterday. Yeah, he'll catch some flack from being the old man. Every now and then, he's going double negative. But for this title, he has been consistent for the most part. Like, he's had a couple off events, but like he's been frying, man, and he has been clutch. Like, when it comes to the big moments, he's been big. And I think like more than your regular matchup, you're playing like a Gorillas or Surge or somebody, when you're playing against the best team in the world, it usually comes down to those moments.
I think what you're really seeing from Dallas Empire, and especially Clay, is we talk about sort of this veteran mentality in the way they are preparing for matchups. Like, you saw it yesterday, like game 5 Ramaza, the way he was playing around construction. Clay is one of those guys where in big moments, he sort of calms himself down. He's settled. Yes, he's bringing the communication, but he lets the game come to him sometimes. And I think that is where, his experience really shines through. You see the stats here. Search and destroy, he's been big. The respawns, he's been big. But yeah, it's just about that experience. He's going for back-to-back rings. This guy knows what he needs to do in these big moments.
We'll take a look now at the social soundboard. This is from Karma. If Clay wins tomorrow, he's the 5v5 boogeyman. And yeah, he's found these squads with, you know, a ton of young talent. You think that back last year, he ends up on that team with a Bizzy and Simp. I know Simp comes in kind of late in the year or middle of the year for JCap, but he's got these young, talented players around him. And then this year, obviously, with the newcomers in Shotzi and Illy, to these just young, dominant players that he's playing alongside. This perfect mix with their squad that seems to be flowing so well. We'll see if Clay can do it again, but it is time to now introduce our teams. First off, let's take a look at the Dallas Empire.
The Dallas Empire very well may be the best team in the Call of Duty League.
Oh, no!
This is not a game. I didn't come to play.
Who goes huge? Where do these search rounds go? Once again, Empire steal around.
Shotzi is ridiculous.
Hey, burn it up. Yeah, you know I'm coming for the crown. And we don't play around. You better get out my way.
We have covered this roster card many times this year because, well, they keep making deep runs in tournaments. They had 3 home series wins. Shotzi, Prim, Clay, Illy, Hook the Nuke, stacked from top to bottom.
Yeah, just headlined obviously by Crim and Clay, the veterans, 2 of the most winning players in Call of Duty history. But then it's followed up by 3 of the most talented individuals that we have in our league. You know, and I think they all took a step forward. They're all learning from one another. That's why they're in this position.
Well, they're in a good position. Up a map, getting ready to head into the final match of this entire year, and what a treat it is going to be. But their opposition looking for revenge and filled to the brim with talent of their own. It is Atlanta Faze. Let's meet the roster. Atlanta looking to make a statement. Have we even seen the peak of his ability?
1, 2, 3 for Major Maniac.
Celium is the best player in the game.
He might be the MVP if he keeps it up.
He's on, baby.
What an individual play from Priest. Faze dominates the late game.
Faze off, baby. Let's go.
Faze came out the year firing on all cylinders. Major Maniac, Celium, Simp, Priesta, Bizzy. Joe, what makes this team special?
They are just so talented from top to bottom. There's not really a weakness. Everybody can do it all. Yeah, when we first saw this roster form, we're like, that's the one. That could be the one, and they have an opportunity to be number 1.
Well, we saw the predictions come in from our analyst and host and Lottie. It's time for us to get to our Sony Xperia smartphone predictions. Joe, how do you see this shaking out?
So I went, we are asked this before we see maps or anything. I went 5-3 Dallas Empire, but I will say to you, I am a little bit nervous. The first 5 maps are the exact same that we saw from yesterday's series. I didn't expect that. And this worries me. Why? Because I thought Dallas outprepared Atlanta Faze, plain and simple. But what adjustments can Atlanta Faze make in these first 5 maps? That's going to really be the big question. I'm going to stick with Dallas, but I'm a little bit worried.
I went 5-4 Faze, and I was torn on this because on contesting the point, I had to make the argument for why Faze would win, and they've been more consistent and solid in the finals at the home series events, right? Like, they've closed them out where we've seen Faze come up short a lot, but I picked Faze to win it at the beginning. I'm sticking with my gut. I'm going Faze in an absolute marathon. I am just hoping we get an incredible series. But you talked about the maps and modes. Let's take a look through it now and how this is going to play out. Because when you take a look early in this, and we talked about the fact that it's the same 5 maps to start this off. Basically, it's the same order, right? Like when you go Cave, Gunrunner, Petro, Gunrunner, Ramaz, that's what we saw in the winners bracket final. Same thing. I know that we saw Empire win that map on Caves, but it's very good for Faze. Typically, that's been a very strong map for them, not for Empire. You look at the first couple of maps, it looks really, really good for Faze. But as the series gets deeper, the series goes longer, it gets better and better for Empire. Give me a shootout, Joe. I need a shootout.
I think that's what we all want. But as you said, yeah, a lot is around these first 3 maps. Can Dallas take one? They were able to steal what? That is your cave, which was such a big story. You know, Crim had a great map. We saw the Grawl come out from Shotzi, really focusing on the 4th and 5th hill. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. But I think really the big story between these two, they've matched up so many times. Dallas, they have the advantage in hardpoint. They're, 6-5 in the series, but where do Atlanta FaZe really come in strong? It's domination where they're 6-1, or 7-1. I think that it's 7-3 in their favor in search and destroy. I think you heard Nameless talk about it. Their hardpoint has to be better. They have an opportunity to completely dismantle Dallas Empire if they can fix their mistakes.
Absolutely. I mean, these first 3 maps, again, the reason they're big, Dallas 2-6 on Cave, 11-6 on Gunrunner Search, but 0-3 versus Atlanta, 2-4 on Petrodon, but 0-2 versus Atlanta. If they can get one of these map wins, how massive it would be. But let's get it rocking. It is time for the CDL Championship match. Empire FaZe rolling right back into Cave and jump from the winners bracket final. Considering we saw this for the map 1, what really stood out for you? What was the big key for you in that first map?
Well, it's what we've talked about with Atlanta FaZe's hardpoint the past couple of months, their ability to hold. When they get these early rotations yesterday, after the first set, it was a 100-point lead. And then we saw the strategy come out for Dallas Empire where they would give up a hill early, rotate. If that doesn't happen, if Atlanta FaZe can hold those hills, who knows? Who knows what happens yesterday?
Yeah, we'll keep an eye when we get to like Cave Side West on how Empire play it, because they were really putting everything into holding that right side of the map for like 3 straight hard points, and we'll see if that's what continues. But nice points early for Empire. Kill feed all going their way as well. It'll be FaZe inside of Cave Side East, and this is going to be a prime example of this. So FaZe are going to give up a lot of time at this point. They're going to be set up early in a great position, but if they get broken, it could be the same spot again where you end up with this 70-point advantage for Empire.
Well, they might not be in a great position. It was that Illy with some nice shots. Simto is going to recover. He's going to take down 2. Crim trying to play his life right now. Trying to play for spawns, trying to play for rotation. But Atlanta FaZe, okay, they slow things down. They deal with the players trying to put pressure on the spawns. Now it's all about the front hit. How does Dallas Empire want to break through?
Well, let's see what they can do. Trying to hit it mid-alley and the west side of the cave. I think it's Hoop that's able to take down one. Could be an opening, but Bizzy is able to pick that up. Bizzy has been so strong, and he keeps it going here as he does shut down 2. Now the pressure on a Major Maniac inside of the point. He's going to need some help as he's trying to lock down the time. The flood has gotten here from Empire. The spawns haven't flipped, but they've gotten enough kills to get FaZe spawning in the back and get into the point. This is great from Empire.
Yeah, and now they're going to trap them through. We're going to head to Soccer Field next. This would be on the bottom side of your mini-map. You see Illy, our number 2. He's going to be locking things on, and you're sort of in a trap right now. You do have 10 seconds before the next hill pops. Maybe you can gain some ground if you're Atlanta FaZe. Simp, we know what he can do. 9-5, just finished on a 4 spree, but 3 go down, 4 go down. Hoot the nuke going big. Can he find number 5? He can. Up to 12-4. He's been the MVP for me for Dallas Empire. He's been so clutch, so consistent, and he is keeping it going right now.
Up to 7 in a row. Finally will drop, but think about those kills. It was Clayster with a triple to kind of pin FaZe back at the first point. Then as the transition's coming in, you get 5 from Hook. Like FaZe just didn't have a chance. They're just now getting towards the point. There's 30 seconds remaining in it, but they're able to rebound with a bit of authority to stay in this game and only be down 20. But what an individual moment of brilliance from Clayster and Hook. Now FaZe will try to answer back. You take a look at that number 0 and a Bizzy already rotating all the way over to Cave Side West, making sure he's getting set up for next. How many members will he have to deal with? But we'll stay focused for now on the current hard point as the final seconds begin to tick off. Now, eyes over to a Bizzy.
Yeah, and this is something I want to focus on. Watch the blue arrows and how they play this, right? Because their goal is try to get the right side of the mini-map because they want spawns for Cliff. And now you're seeing a good example of it where, okay, they actually do get the spawns. Atlanta FaZe are getting a lot of time here. Dallas is not close to this, and this is how they played it yesterday. If they get some time here, great, but it's almost like they're giving up 40 to 50 seconds. They just want to hold the final hill. You're going to see Shotzi pull out a Graw, and they're going to get set up.
Well, yeah, and the reason for this is, like, if you're a new viewer, it's not just for the next hard point and outpost, which, yes, is on the right side of the map, but that works when we get the second set of rotation for first. It sets them up for Cave Side East as well. It's basically, you want to hold that right side of the map for almost 3-4 straight minutes. it is a massive advantage, and we'll see if they can continue to hold on to it. But yeah, Shotzzy with that draw definitely stood out yesterday. But we get over to our Game Fuel featured player for a moment. We'll stick with Clay through a couple of respawns and see what he can get going. But it's Priesta with 5 in a row that gets up to 12 and 12.
And well, so Faze is going to get this 20-point lead. They get a majority of the time. Bizzy at Dallas revolved around. You're going to see Shotzzy number 5 all the way back in that building, locking things down. Everybody winning their one-on-ones. All the M4s lighting up the feed. And I mean, it's just a great hold so far. They find the first 20 seconds.
What we really want to look at is it was what, about a 15-point advantage for Faze? Like after the next 3 hard points, basically after what? Caves side east, like what's the difference? What's the separation? They put all of that into it, let Faze get 40 to 50 points. Now what is kind of that plus minus once they get through these 3 points which favor that side of the map? But now Hook's really hot. He has stayed hot. 5 in a row again for him, out to 21 and 12 as he's looking to get hunting inside of caves, but Simp there ready with the read and able to lock him down. But how clean that was from Empire, and well, any Faze lead has been blown away.
And now they're in a position where there's always the opportunity where you could get trapped if you're a Dallas Empire, but with Illy's spot inside of this building, he's going to be able to put pressure on this hill as soon as it pops. It's like, yeah, I mean, Atlanta Faze just sort of, I don't know. It feels like at times they aren't really sure how to play against this Dallas Empire and their strategy moving forward. But it always helps when you have Hook, who's going on 5 sprees, is 22 and 12. You're only down 30, which is much better than the deficit you were in yesterday. But it's just going to come down to a couple of key fights. And when we go back to that Cliff Hill, I'm just curious, can Atlanta Faze break that setup? Can they stop it from happening?
Yeah. And remember, it was what, 1 and 6 on this particular map for Empire coming into the winners bracket final. It beat Faze here yesterday. Now a chance to do it again. That is screaming preparation for this particular roster. But they've done a good job trying to contest towards mid, make sure Faze don't get all of the points, because they have brought it back a bit closer, now down about 15 points. But now the big battles are going to start to go down inside a cave. The point man for now with the M4 now going to be Major Maniac, as he's already able to take down Illy. Illy already back in the mix off spawn, but some huge fights now about to go down towards our next hard point. And if you lock down all this time and push this out to like a 60-point lead, it was all worth it, right? It was all worth it if you're Empire. But if you get broken, not going to be the case. And then, well, that might be the break. 4 going to go down. They're surging on through. It's 3 in a row for Celium. Shotzzy trying to get back into the mix. Some nice movement there to at least take down 1. And the 4 kills from Faze, instantly answered by 4 from Empire. But Faze have done enough to at least get them out of the point, make this a bit sloppy.
And I think that's it, right? If you're Atlanta Faze, you're not trying to get a ton of time here. I mean, you would love to earn some time. You're just trying to delay it. You know they have the good spawns. You're trying to trap them back here so you can rotate over towards soccer field and get a good majority of time there. You have the advantage rotating to cave side west. So this could quickly turn into an advantage for Atlanta Faze. They're going to try and keep them pinned here. You see the nades coming through. Priesta wants to get out, but that's big 3 kills, and it's behind Hook, already up to 29. Make that 30. He's on another 4 spree, allows them to get out of cave, and yeah, the pressure's already out towards the middle of the map, which is perfect for Dallas Empire.
Well, think about how big Hook was on both sides of that particular hardpoint, whether it was getting the kills to kind of pin Faze back or getting the kills to break out. Like, he's just going massive at huge spots within this game. But it's Shotzzy now with Dead Silence Pop trying to finesse and nearly finds another one, but Celium's got the towards the spiral side of this point. The rhythm keeps on flowing. Hook the nuke, literally dropping a nuke on this map right now. The man's a magician, and he's been special throughout map 1.
And don't forget, Clint, what we get if somebody drops 40 kills. I know chat's getting excited for some burritos, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But over to cave side west, Dallas Empire, they have a 45-point lead. And there we go. You see all the blue arrows. They're starting to transition over. They have this lead. They're playing around this strategy. And Atlanta Faze play perfect from here on out.
And yeah, Faze, they're trying to pick this up. They've sent players over to deal with it, but it's like a 1 versus 50.
It's like what do you do? Just like not get the points on the hill, right?
Exactly,
like you're gonna take the hill time.
Empire is putting literally 0 focus in this until wrapping the entire way around the map. And now if they get a break, that's just gravy on top if they can get a bit of contest here and hold that right side. They've already cleared Faze out of the point for now. They're still spawning safe. I think it's a Bizzy that's going to try and maybe wrap back and disrupt this. He's going to have a one-on-one with Illy on the other side of it, and he's able to win 1. That could be massive, but now if you lose this, at least if you're Empire, at least you were able to get in and chalk up some of this time. And look at number 5, Shotzzy, wrapping it all the way back to his spot.
And he's got his graw, he's got his kill. There's another player here in a Bizzy. But but he's going to have 2 players to deal with. Meanwhile, on the hill, just so far to work with. The Bizzy, can he go huge? Can he go massive? Nope, it's the MVP, the regular season MVP, and Shotzi takes down both. And guess what? He's got his Grawl. He's got his house. Clayster, we were on with him earlier. Our Game Fuel featured player going to get right back in the hill.
And Hook now 4 away from dropping 40. We'll see if he can get to that mark. But for Clay, can they hold this and win it here? 25 more points needed, and they can lock it down. 2 already going to drop for Faze. The hold seems to be going strong, but they're pinching now from both sides. Shotzi's Graws connected. 2 are going to drop. Priesta falls off the map. Things falling apart for Faze as Empire once again seem to get it done. Now everybody will fall, but Clay at least able to pick up one of the point. Is Shotzi now hits 5 in a row? Just 5 more points needed from Empire. Wow, they play this map well.
I don't know, man. I don't know when they implemented this strategy, but it has worked so far. I think there are a couple of ways to counter it if you're Atlanta Faze. You need an early lead. They don't have it. Dallas played their game, and now they are up 2-0, and you can see Clay getting fired up. That's 2 times in a row where they have won a Zero Cave, which has been a problem for them. It's one of Atlanta Faze's best map, and it's just crazy to watch this strategy unfold.
They won it 1 time in 6 months, Joe. Yeah. Well, 1 time in maybe more than 6 months. Now they've won it in back-to-back days. And wow, is it fun to watch. What a map from Hoop. 37 kills he puts up.
Didn't get to 40. I'm sorry.
For Clay, our Game Fuel featured player, 2 minutes and 46 seconds in the point. And what a great POV you saw at the tail end of that. Like, there was like a 30-second stretch where he'd have to shoot. Just soaking up the time, locking it down, playing his role. Faze get rolled. And now they're in trouble. Down 2-0, and what a massive map 1 victory it was. Because when you and I were talking about the first, 3 maps or so, we felt pretty good about Empire victory if they were able to take 1. Guess what? We're 1 map in. They already took 1. Empire in a fantastic spot. Faze, a lot of work to do. The road just got harder.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long series, right? You have to win 5 games. It's going to take a lot of work.
Every game has champions. No heroes that draw into battle, that fight for glory. We watch and we cheer. We choose sides and pledge our allegiance. What happens when the loyalty is betrayed? What if nothing is quite what it seems? That everything you think you know is just a game. A game of wars and lies, cover-ups and disinformation. Secret operations that never took place. Federal pawns grind away their simulation. But every system has its weakness. Join me. It's time to learn the truth.
Kind of winning the fight on both fronts. It's like, I don't know. It was wild to see because I like to see Faze trying to make those adjustments, but then it almost went worse because then not only did they not win the rotation, but they didn't get all the time on Cave Side West, and that's sort of what sealed the deal. But yeah, I just don't remember. We've casted a lot of Cave this year, but I know the right side of the map for almost every instance outside of like the soccer field rotation is like has been the favored spot. But I just have never seen that much emphasis on it, man. Just making sure you basically have right side spawns the entire map. But we'll get right into the U.S. Air Force quick scope. Look at how these teams have matched up all year long. They've been the top 2 for a reason. Faze lead in every category, but not mattering much now.
Yeah, number 1 versus number 2. It's what we talked about. Both of them working so hard to get into this position. But Dallas Empire, I don't know, dude. This is why I took them, because I just feel like they have a strategy. They have a game plan. You obviously need to, execute that game plan. You need players like Who to go off. You right shots to know his role. But I mean, I guess for, if you're an Atlanta Faze fan, we talked about the 5 maps being the same thing from yesterday. The next 2 Atlanta Faze did win. But when you're playing the same maps over and over again, what adjustments are each side going to make?
Now we head to them, and that's I think you kind of nailed it. Yeah, what adjustments are there going to be? Faze obviously not able to make the key adjustments to take this map as Empire won it yesterday. The same result basically is going to happen here. And now, if you're Faze, I guess, I did the Talking in Circles show, and I think I was talking to Pristini on that. And one of the reasons I think he took Empire over Faze in this, he was like, if they lose some early maps, I know the Faze can get a little bit tilted. I think he said, like, I've seen a Bizzy's face, and I know that guy's tilted, and he thinks that can happen with him. And I guess I'm wondering if that could end up being the case here, is if Empire just starts to frustrate them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. I think if you look at like when we had double best of fives in the past, like the team coming from losers, they would win that best of five, and then the second one would come through, and it would be a quick like 3-0, right? But I guess for these players like a Bizzy and Simp, because we don't hold them to such high standards, they've been so good, they should be able to bounce back, right? Like, I don't know who's going to be that vocal leader, but stick to your game. They know they can do it. And I will say, if you thought they were tilted, they came out after losing to Empire and beat Chicago, right? So they know the game they have to play. They know how talented that they are.
Just a reminder for how this plays out. Up 2-0 for your Empire. This is first to 5 wins. So 3 more map wins needed for Empire. Faze are going to have to rip off 5. And maybe it starts here. Taking a look at what the Gunrunner search. Did you run through the overall stats for these guys? Because it's 0-3 for Empire versus Atlanta. Like they're 11-6 on it. So like it's a good map for them, but they've never beaten Atlanta here.
Well, Faze is 11-2.
Yeah,
they've only lost it 2 times. Like this is their best search and destroy map.
Well, that's why I guess my point there is like if you come in and win this, if you're Empire, you might have just ripped the jugular out of Faze. Oh, Mr. First Blood back at it. Bizzy able to get the first pick. Man advantage quickly to Faze.
Yeah, and yesterday it was a lot of talks around the First Bloods. Crim, though, big pick on a Major Maniac, and they're just sort of taking their time. But I think it was a 3-1 lead. It was very early lead for Dallas Empire. And Atlanta Faze, they made some adjustments. They stuck to their game plan. This is part of their game plan, letting the bomb go down, playing the 4 versus 4 retakes. Watch Illy, though, number 2, maybe trying to work a flank. We'll see if a Bizzy's able to catch him. They are. They just play it patiently. Now they have the man advantage. Now they have to go.
Bizzy with the 2 kills in the round, but it's Crim once again that's able to bring it back even. Priesta, though, puts the odds back over to Faze. Crim, can he be the guy again? Just trying to finesse around, trying to stay alive. He's able to dip away into bathrooms. There's only 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Crim and Shotzi trying to get it done. Crim's able to get another kill with his knife. Priesta will lock down the final player with enough time to defuse, but Crim nearly made some magic happen.
But that's Atlanta Faze. That's their strategy. Plant the bomb B. We will take our individual 1v1s. Typically, they have the man advantage. They're able to catch Illy out. That gives them the 4 versus 3. And what's just so difficult about defending this B side is it takes a smoke to, cover across if there's someone sniping all the way in the back from Dallas. It's tough. In Atlanta Faze, they know what positions they have to take.
The Faze get the round win behind some early kills from a Bizzy. He gets 3 in the round, starts off 3-1, and now kind of his home. In and around vent room and pipes. He loves to do damage. 2 rounds in, 2 First Bloods for a Bizzy. The guy's impact early in the map is outrageous.
Okay, so now this is a key for me, and that is a problem what we just saw from Priesta, because we saw this on Ramaza. Atlanta Faze. I know Gunrunner is a bit of a slower map, and these things tend to happen, but you have to stick together. Use your advantages that you're earning in the rounds, because that's how they lost game 5.
Oh, now things starting to unravel. It was Crim that was kind of the difference maker again. He gets that pick right after the First Blood, brings it back to a 4 versus 4, and then Clayster tacks on another.
And look at the flank. Look at Hook and Crim. They found the opening. Simp's all the way in the back. He's not watching anything. Hook doesn't see much. But the bomb is going to be planted, and you're going to have Simp all the way towards the back with a snipe. Hopefully for Dallas, they have somebody with a smoke to deal with this, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, even though you have the added man, it's not going to be easy. Yep. Now the smoke going to come over the top. Crim able to hit the shots, all down to Selim and Simp now to try and clutch. There's going to be 2 players pushing him in the back with a snipe. Simp's going to have to try and finesse. Able to take down 1, but he will fall right after. Selim gets caught out as well outside of bathrooms in the retake. Solid from Empire. Will tie us up 1-1, Joe.
Solid Empire. Similar to what we saw from Atlanta Faze. But if you're Faze, you have another one of those rounds where you're kind of scratching your head. Where did things go wrong? Bizzy earns a very tough, First Blood. Takes down Shotzi. Priesta can't go down there. These little things, Maven, and they add up.
Yeah. No, I know you can't just obviously group up completely and get into a position where you have no angles, no map coverage. You need to play your spots and all, but yeah, it just seems like a lot of positions where they have the numbers, Guy drops, no trade is there, and suddenly that advantage disappears, and that's why we've been highlighting it so much. But what a start from Krim it's been. He's already out to 6-1. He accounts for 6 out of their 8 kills. Pretty hot start for sure. As we'll watch Hook try to finesse up towards this bomb site. No work onto the plant yet.
Bizzy's in a great position inside of vents. Priesta gets taken down. Is there going to be a quick trade? It is. Bizzy's going to play his life now. It looks like they're trying to get a trade onto this, but he plays it. Shotzzy, though, with the dead silence comes behind him. Hook gets aggressive through crates. Now you have a 2 versus 4. You can get this bomb down, but Major Maniac going to keep them in this one.
Bomb not getting planted yet. Major Maniac almost able to catch one, but now his position revealed as he gets aggressive towards the site. Can he catch Hook? He does. He's going to catch Hook, but the bomb is starting to wrap out towards A. 2 versus 2. Play in Krim versus Simp and Major Maniac. And a father versus son as we get deep into this round 3. As Krim will try to get into a position to put this bomb down. And really, it might come down to whether or not you have dead silence on Simp or Major Maniac to try and make a play. Major's not going to have it. Not going to need it as the Simtex will hit. Bomb will not get planted. Clay last alive. No choice but to try and plant. Now, Clay, he had so many clutches yesterday. Can he do it again?
Oh, yeah, they hear him. One player's just going to run away. So he hears Major Maniac running up. He's trying to catch him to get the bomb down. Major Maniac's such a smart player. Well, he doesn't even give up the kill. So there we go. Atlanta Faze behind Major Maniac finds 3 kills, a 2 versus 4. All right, Maven, we're just going to have some ridiculous clutches today. We got the 2 best teams in the world. Let's just let it happen. But how does that unfold? Shotzzy, he dies with bomb inside a vent room. They can't get the plan at B. They're probably thinking, you know what? Let's just get control. Let's rotate A. But guess what? Major Maniac goes big.
Shotzzy, though, with some beams. A Bizzy take it off the map quickly. But it puts us right into a 4v4 as Major Maniac big again. Look at number 9, though. Yep, it's a fast flank coming in for Priesta. He's got dead silence. Just about to run out. Can he get to a position in time? And will he be heard by Hook inside of bathrooms? Not going to matter. Priest is going to get the first kill. Now Head's going to have to turn from Empire. It's a fast trade out. Or was it enough of a mess created by Priesta?
Well, I think Hook's going to get caught. Yeah, Simp just saw him. So into another 2v2. But I think he called it where Priesta just sort of, yeah, he made it a bit of a mess, right? They're going to have to rotate. Let's say Illy and Shotzzy. They're going to try to work the flank here. They're going to wait to see if the bomb's being rotated. They're going to play from vent room. Selling Simp on the other side. Maybe just trying to catch them.
Nice
Shotzzy with a beautiful headshot onto Celium. Celium has been so good in that position all year long. Now it's on to Simp.
Dude, his first kill on a Bizzy was absurd too. Just literal beams, whether it's the MP5 or the M4. But now Simp. Chance to clutch. No Denny to use. Goes soaring out. Here's the first. Goes the challenge. But Empire have got the spots. Back and forth we go. Tied up 2-2. And a freebie here for Ilya. Simp trying to catch the first.
Yeah, Simp might be thinking like maybe the other player is vent and they're like trying to sandwich him. You know, if he spots that second guy, maybe he can turn it into something. But just some bad timing. But Shotzzy, really the key difference. Takes down the first Blood King and a Bizzy. Wins a one-on-one versus Celium.
And Celium, who you mentioned, has been so good. He's 0-4 right now. They need Celium on point if they're going to win this series. Major Maniac able to get across, take some damage, but going to stay up for now. The Simtexes will come in. A Bizzy with another first blood. A Bizzy follows up with 2. He's going to challenge for the 3rd. Not a 4th, but what a play from a Bizzy. But as it stands, it's still going to be a 2 versus 2. Celium and Simp versus Clayster and Shotzzy. 3 of our 5 MVP finalists left in this round. The bomb now wrapping all the way out towards that.
Celium had Deddy pop, so he's not going to have that. Simp should get it. Shotzzy has it. They're rotating towards A. Nobody's really watching this cross. Now Celium going to peek it. And this might be great for Cell. Shout out to our observing team. They've been just so good all year long. You see this overhead shot. And well, Celium, he's going to win that one. Gives them the man advantage. The headshot goes his way. Bomb gets planted. Shotzzy, though, a smoke magician. Not going to be able to do it. Atlanta Faze, they clutch another way. It's like these 2v2s that we keep having.
Yeah.
They're going to have the round advantage.
And that's a big first kill for Celium, right? Like, he's getting blanked until that point. There, he's able to get it done as they let their dead silence build. But, I mean, it's all Bizzy, right? I mean, the fact that he gets 3 mid-map, just a ludicrous play to make sure they're in a 2v2 and not some other insane situation. Faze get
there's just some like gaps, right? Because Bizzy's typically the guy that's watching the flank through them. So Clayster, he finds an opening. He's able to get behind the defense. Bizzy doesn't find 2 or 3 kills. Dallas may have a 2-round advantage or a round advantage. So he plays out of him.
That is a Bizzy's 13th first blood in the playoffs, by the way. Most in the playoffs. Envoy and Pristini, the 2 behind him with 10. So, yeah, he's been good, but Shotzzy is not missing right now. Shotzzy wins another big gunfight. He'll be off the map. The Bizzy gets dropped. Risa, though, gets into this spot. Behind it, silence, but Shotzzy able to read it, finds another kill as Shotzzy continues to flow.
And that at times has been one of the problems with sort of a Bizzy's timings with his teammates, because I think he weakens Shotzzy enough where there should be a trade. And basically, he's going to take those fights. It's the way a Bizzy plays. He's going to continue to take those one-on-ones and try to get his team first blood. But I think someone, either a nade needs to come in. There has to be a fast trade there so his hard work doesn't go unnoticed.
Well, we'll see if Faze can get some revenge, because Empire had so many 2v4s and 3v5s they clutched up yesterday in the map 5. Faze off a 3v5, maybe give Empire a taste of their own medicine. But Hook now hitting the cross, able to spot one, but he reacted too fast from Sip. I don't know how he gets 2 from that spot, but now a 2 versus 3, 25 seconds remaining on the clock. Celium and Major Maniac trying to clutch up. Celium wins another big one-on-one. Major Maniac will fall. Now 1v2 for Cell. But Empire, they've got to work this defuse, and Krim hits the shots, brings us to 3-3.
Oh, it gets a little close there, Dustin. It's Simp showing us why he's one of the best players in the world with some ridiculous shots or ridiculous reaction onto Illy. But the number's too strong for Dallas. Celium, he gets put into a tough position. He doesn't know where Krim's coming from. He has to worry about the defuse. Krim continues to have a great map number 2.
Who's the first POV we were on? Because when he rounded the corner,
when
he's around the corner and we saw Hook laying there, like before we hopped off, I'm like, oh, that's a free kill. And then Simp just snaps so fast. But not gonna matter. Is the round goes to Empire. 9-4 for Krim. Shotzzy right behind him with 7 kills. First blood there to Krim. He's already up to double digits in 7 rounds. Krim 5 in a row finds another. Krim is taking over, the most decorated Call of Duty player of all time. Getting it done when it matters most.
Yeah, what's sort of the argument is like, well, Karma's got 3 rings. Krim got the most titles. If he wins today, he will also have 3 rings. No doubt, the undisputed GOAT in Call of Duty. Still got some work to do. Bomb being planted. 3 versus 4. Shotzzy, though, after getting that bomb down, does get taken out. So 30 seconds, 7.5 to defuse for Atlanta Faze. But they have a lot of work to do, and this is an interesting setup. Where is Illy right now? Where is Illy? Does he have something on the bomb? Look at this angle from Illy.
Well, he's got the shot as well. Sip gets caught. Well, you're giving somebody a haircut as well, but the spot, the angle from Illy.
Bring it all out, Maven. It's the last series, baby. I mean, bring it all out.
What, you saw Hook spot through a window yesterday. You saw the beams from Clay through a wall on Ramaza. Like, yes, absolutely, Joe. Every single thing, every mechanic, every way to abuse this and take advantage of any potential situation, it is coming out now, and you love to see the spots. Awesome to see from Empire as they now go up 1, but triple positive is Krim. 12-4. What a map for him.
I will say, that is one thing I respect for a Bizzy's game, is he is relentless. Goes right back to it, continues to be the guy leading the charge. Frieza, though, gonna have to deal. Well, he thought he was gonna have to deal with Lob from Empire, and they're all gonna rotate back. Now a Bizzy up top bathroom. His teammates are worried about the flank, but the flank isn't coming through. He's hearing people under him. Here comes the retake.
Bizzy's hearing so, and now he's gonna pounce. Another first blood for him. Nice trade through. Krim almost able to take down 1, but the finesse comes in, and Simp able to win that. Numbers over to Faze. Might not last long, though, as Shotzzy's flying forward. Clay and Shotzzy are to get the play.
Oh, Simp goes. Oh, wait, no. They got it. Krim was on it. Krim was on it the whole time. Oh,
You have got to be kidding me. As the circus and the madness goes on around the site, it's Empire on the bomb. And they'll get the defuse through. Match point for Empire. What in the hell was going on there, Joe?
Yeah, that's what I said, right? You play around the retake, you have the smoke. Crim just hops on it, says, you know what? Screw this. They're going to have to check it. His teammates cover him. And woo, it was a close one.
Now Faze have to rip off 3 in a row, or they are in an even tougher spot. Could go down to 0-3 in our championship match. Quick plant in from Empire. Now going to be a 5-on-5 retake for Faze. First blood to Illy. Bizzy's going to get dropped. What a big gunfight when it is, but they're sent through with the trade as 2 start to work the flank. Priestadell's going to get caught inside of bathrooms, and Shotzi's going to pop dead silence to get rolling. Celium will fall as well. Down to a 2v3 as Simp and Major Maniac have got to get this retake and round win to keep this map 2 going, but they are in trouble. So little time to work with. The dead silence starts to come through. Clay takes down 1. Simp will fall, and Empire take the surge 6-3 on a map that Faze has lost twice this entire year. Empire is rolling.
They're just, you know, they're shutting down a Bizzy a couple of rounds. Shotzi did it. Illy just did it right there. You obviously have that retake scenario, but what, Crim with 13, Shotzi with 11. They're just making the plays. They're making the adjustments, and when you match up so many times, it's what we talk about a lot throughout the year and on broadcast, how difficult it is to continue to beat opponents over and over again on the same maps. Empire making the adjustments. They're making the plays.
Well, Joe, Faze need to do something. They need to come alive, or this is going to be a very, very fast final. Empire are rolling right now, but let's take a look at our U.S. Army tactical play. It's going to be from round 7. Joe, walk me through it.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what round 7 is, but it looks like it's going to be Dallas Empire. Dallas Empire with the bomb down, and this is just setting up Illy all the way in the back, number 2. How do you defuse this? You hope you have a smoke on the map if you're Atlanta Faze, but there's only 15 seconds left at this moment. Simp runs right into his crosshair. Maybe should have hit that one, but it doesn't matter. His teammates have his back, and we talked about these first 3 maps, how pivotal they were. Dallas was hoping to get 1. They get 2. It's the first 2. They're now up 3-0.
Yeah, that's what's so insane. Like, the series just gets better and better for Empire as we go. When you just talk about statistics on the year, I mean, I guess, yeah, you could throw them out the window considering the fact that 2 maps they've now won. They weren't great for them. They weren't beating Faze on them, but now they are, and that's all that matters. Empire in control. Need 2 more map victories to close it out. We'll be back after this break.